Hi, how is everyone doing? Yeah, so I have popped up today to, well, woo, hang on a minute. Wow, it's all going wrong already. Hang on a minute, my phone's just popped out of its little stand. Right, I might, we're not in a good start here, right? See if that holds. Anyway, restart. Hello everyone. How are you all? I've popped on today as it is a massive special occasion for Red Balloons. It is our, and it starts already, what can I say? None of this is scripted or goes ever to plan. Woo! I should go off and come back. Yes, so it's Red Balloons' 4th birthday. Like, I can't believe that after 4 years, I still can't do a live without something going absolutely tragically wrong. But welcome to Red Balloons. We're all about real life, if anything. I just want to say thank you very much for everyone who will log on, who will watch this later on, who follows us, who does everything in the background and everything and believes. The reason why we're here is, I say it all the time and I must do people's heads in just repeating stuff all the time, but the reason why we are who we are and still doing what we're doing is because of yous. Otherwise I would just be what everyone else on my street thinks is the mad lady sat in the window just talking to her own phone, and we all know that I'm not entirely anyway. So to think that 4 years ago, technically it was yesterday, but I was really poorly yesterday. 4 years ago, Red Balloons started as a physical entity when I hosted our very, very first ever peer support group face-to-face at St Bede's Primary School in Stockton. I remember it so well when it came up in my memories. It was like it was yesterday. It was so surreal to think that that was 4 years ago. Obviously Red Balloons has been kicking around since 2017 when I started my blog, but from an official organisation, face-to-face point of view, 4 years. And all we had at that time was Facebook. We didn't have any other social media. I'm still not great at using any of the other social media anyway. And it was just kind of hoping that people would utilise what I hoped people would utilise, just to give people an opportunity. I knew that it was never going to go bang and have tens and or hundreds of people turn up or anything like that, or get in contact. I just wanted it to make a difference that day to anyone that might need it that day. And over, I can't remember exactly how many weeks we did, but we had people turn up just to, some might have been turning up to just be a little bit nosy, some might have turned up because they needed a little bit of support and to kind of find out what was out in the area at the time. Some people turned up because they knew me and they were there to support me. But what matters is the fact that people turned up, and that gave me that little bit of encouragement to think, do you know what? Yeah, it is needed. It's something that people want to see. And I've always said from day dot since all of this started that my mission was to help one person. If one person who was at the very bottom of where they are, if there was one person who honestly believed that there was no other way out apart from to end their own life, and my stupid daft little mush, me talking absolute garbage 9 times out of 10, if that could help one person come back from a dark place, or help someone not take that next step at the end of that dark place, then that is all I wanted. So to say that I've achieved that would be putting that lightly. And I can't say I can say I. So I get told off quite often because I don't take any credit. The team, the staff, the volunteers and everything, they're the amazing people. And to be completely honest, they are the reason why that it is still going. Lee, our volunteer and project manager, is an absolute lifesaver. The things that she does for this organisation, especially when I've been poorly and doing everything else that I've needed to do in my personal life, Lee has been the one that's managed it basically and made sure that Red Balloons didn't have to close down or didn't have to go to the wayside, and to rein in my mad exciting stuff. I'm very much like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to save the world and I want to do this and I'll help this person, and at the very beginning when Lee started with me, I was very much kind of drilling myself into the ground, because my campaign to help one person in my head wasn't enough. I needed to help everybody, all ages, just everybody. And it was like, yes, Claire, we can do that. World domination is yours, but we need to do it step by step. And I will be eternally grateful for that, for her keeping me on the straight and narrow, and the fact that I must have turned so many of her hairs grey when I go, Lee, I've got an idea, and she's like, oh no, please say you haven't done a live about it before you spoke to me. And I'm getting dead good now. I don't want to speak to her first. Danny, your attitude is very similar to mine in the sense of helping people, like one person. I think I've probably said this before, I think it would be unfair of me to say that this was a selfless act, because it isn't. I get an awful lot out of helping people. Helping people helps me. She is, Emma, she is. Helping people helps me. It gives me... For many years, I didn't feel that I had a purpose. I didn't understand kind of what life was. I was a mum, and my mum, being a mum is my absolute priority and always will be. And I've said this before, and sometimes I get a little bit of backlash, but I hope people understand what I mean when I say it. You can't just be something for someone else. You've got to kind of be a purpose. So I'm a much better mum now, I hope. I'll have to ask my kids. I'm a much better mum now, now that I'm living for my own reasons as well as for them. I'm a lot more honest, and I hope that makes it easier for them to be more honest with me and themselves. I hope I show them that, yeah, there's certain things in my life that probably children wouldn't necessarily have been. I don't know, when people say, oh, do you not think your children shouldn't know this, or do you think they know too much? I don't think that there is a level where you can know too much, although I do kind of understand the angle of what people are possibly getting at. I do think there's certain things that I wish my daughter didn't know, in a sense. But then again, I will also and always celebrate being honest, because mental health doesn't just affect adults, and it doesn't just affect women, and it doesn't just affect people with no money, and it's a lot of different things. And I want my children to know that if they're feeling bad, if they're feeling bad, it's not a bad thing. And the fact that they're still here living, even when things are really, really, really hard, that is what means the most. And if me being honest with all of you and speaking utter nonsense like I normally do means that it makes my kids and your kids and anyone else that might watch this find it a little bit easier to say, do you know what, I'm really having a bad day, then what I do is worth it. Keep doing what you are, because there is little help out there. I need help, but I just can't get it. It's crazy. Hi, Sean. I know, Gary, and that's one of the things, like I was just saying to you, the waiting lists for counselling, pre-COVID, they were absolutely ridiculous. Now, post-COVID, I know that certain counselling... I can only speak, obviously, in Teesside of the information that I've got in this area, but I from what I'm aware, it is nationwide. There's waiting lists for counselling that take... put my teeth back in. Waiting lists for counselling are over a year in some areas. 1 year. Now, when I went through what I went through, I was very lucky. I say lucky. Obviously, I was in a disgraceful place, but I was very lucky to get seen within 2 weeks. Now, if you think of the fact that I tried to end my own life and it still took 2 weeks to see a counsellor, I think that's quite, well, for lack of a better word and probably not sounding very PC, mental. So there is so much that needs to be done, and it's kind of that trickle in like a drop in a pond thing. I know I'm only one tiny voice, and then Red Balloons is like a bigger voice, and then Red Balloons members are an even bigger voice, but we need to spread it out and spread it out and spread it out so that people go, do you know what, mental health is serious. The government need to sit up and realise that we need help. I'm not saying there's just a magic pot of money, like in no way am I that naive, but something desperately needs to be done, because it's terrifying, and we're just seeing so many people in this awful place that they can't get out of. But if me doing this will give someone a little bit of a smile, like Bev had said, that's really nice. Like, I hope I do make you smile. I know I don't make much sense all the time, and I jabber on and stuff like that, but I do hope that listening to my live or watching me throw my phone because it fell out of its thing, or just something, I just hope that even this little 5 minutes will give someone kind of just a little lifeline, and remind people that even if they're on the lists and stuff, that there is help there. People want to help you, and we're doing everything that we possibly can to get there. Just please, please, please don't give up. Please, that's all I ask. Leah's a brilliant girl, gives a lot of herself, and other volunteers are very supportive. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. That's lovely to hear. They are the dream team. I say it all the time. Everybody is absolutely probably sick and tired of me saying it, but I genuinely do not care. I absolutely have the best volunteers in the whole wide world. They have been so amazing, just getting stuck into however many groups and everything that we've got going on and projects, and there's so much coming up in the future, and it's fantastic. Oh, there's somebody commented late. I've been waiting since September. Ooh, sorry. I've been waiting since September. It's awful. Honestly, the waiting list's awful. Oh. I'm trying to read comments and it's not going very well. Right. Let me see. You're fab. Even if I can't watch live, I always catch up with them. Oh, thank you. Bev's just wrote some. Bev, I've missed your comment. It keeps skipping off, but I'll find it. Danny, I was sent to... See what I mean? So unscripted, these lives. I was sent to liaison psychiatry in October 2020 because I was going to kill myself. I was severely agoraphobic, struggling with OCD, housebound and asked to be put in Rosebery Park. They said that I wasn't ill enough. Oh, this... I'm so sorry, Danny. First of all, thank you for sharing that. It honestly, the mind boggles. I'm very careful with what I say and stuff. I don't understand, like I said, I don't know the ins and outs of every single organisation and stuff like that. So it would be unfair of me to comment. I certainly can't comment on a professional level, but I can comment on a personal level, and it's absolutely terrifying. And to think that we don't even know the official statistics of things that happen. We often don't find out the results of those welfare incidents that we see that pop up on Facebook that break my heart every time I see it, or every time you hear at the minute, I don't know about anyone else, but you hear blue lights racing past and you're going, what, like, is it someone else? Because 9 times out of 10 at the minute it seems like it is, and I will never give up doing this. Never, ever, 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 ever. Because I need people to realise that it's I won't ever be scared of the word suicide and to talk about it. The same as self-harm and eating disorders and everything like that, where people do struggle to be able to vocalise things around it and stuff like that. So I will... The only thing I can promise you is that I'm not going nowhere, and Red Balloons isn't going anywhere, and we will do whatever we feasibly can to help shift things in the right direction, and hopefully more and more people will tag on, and the more yous get involved and help and spread the word. And I think if I can ask you all that are watching this live, if there's one thing you can do for me today as a birthday present for Red Balloons, if you could go through Red Balloons' page and share something that stands out to you, any post, it can be any post you want. It could be this video, it could be something that we've posted over the last few weeks, it could be an event, it could be a list of our services that we do. If for our birthday, for our 4th birthday, if you everyone watching this could please go through Red Balloons and just share a post, just to spread a little bit of awareness, that would be massively appreciated. And you never know. I always say that you never know who's reading your Facebook. You might think that no one gives a crap, and you might think, oh, no one reads what I say and all this, all that and the other, but you'd be very surprised who takes notice and who you can reach when you least expect it. I waited over a year for CBT and you are very inspirational. My biggest fear was being admitted, so asking for it was huge. I know I had a problem, but now I am a lot better. Some people will not be as lucky. So many welfare incidents that I want to be a reason that people don't choose the ultimate choice too. I know what it's like, and I know there's another way. Hope to meet you one day. Well done. Oh, thank you so much, Danny. Like, you're the inspiration for being able to share that story, and I can imagine that is still something that I'm so glad you're in a better place now, but I can imagine that is still something that's a massive struggle for you to talk about. Or it's still, I know that when I talk about suicide and my attempt and stuff like that, it brings It washes up an awful lot of things, and it'll be 5 months for me next month. 5 years for me next month. So anyone that is able to vocalise some things really makes a difference. Another mini breakdown, and I finally managed to get an assessment from Mind. Still waiting for my clinical counselling. I'm really dreading this and what it might drag up. Oh, Gem, I'm so sorry. But I'm so glad that you haven't give up asking for help. I think this is what it was. I think what I don't want people to do is give up asking for help. I've shared a few things previously and had some private messages saying thank you. Just to share is so important to people searching for support and struggling and taking the first steps. Yes, Emma, I completely agree, and thank you very much. Oh, Lions, doing me dirty today. I've watched your journey over the years and I'm so proud of you. I don't use red balloons as I know you personally and I can't put my crap on you, but please carry on what you are doing. You were an amazing person. Gary, you can put your crap on me any time, and I truly mean that. For anyone that's watching this and think I can't use red balloons because they know me, there's so many volunteers and so many different services that I can understand that sometimes it isn't comfortable for people to speak to me when they know me. I completely understand that, and I don't get offended at all. Even people who try to offend me, don't offend me. Please just ask for a bit of help. Do not be scared to say, like, look, I know Claire, I'd rather not have any thingy to Claire. You can get support from other people. Please don't think that you're burdening anyone. Certainly not me. I'm here. I really am. You always help, Claire. I always look forward to runs on Monday night, run and rant. Keep being you. Thank you for getting me back into running and back out the house. Ah, Owen, I love our Mondays. It's good, and I'll be talking about run and rant in a little bit, but thank you very much for coming, and I'll be back next week, I promise. I can't be a hypocrite any longer. I'm supporting families every day. Do you know what, Jen? We're all hypocrites, and I've said this to you a million times. It's fair enough me sitting here. I'm doing all of this now, and not one of you know what's going on in my head. Quite literally. We're all hypocrites, so don't see that as a necessarily bad thing. We're all hypocrites, every single one. I challenge anyone on this, watching this, or who might watch this later, or anything like that. I challenge anyone to say that they're not a hypocrite. We are so good as a species at helping other people and putting everything else first, even like mundane things. Like, I know if I'm feeling really poorly, I'll still go and do all my chores around the house rather than go and have a lie down, because that's what I like. It's just, do you know what I mean? It's one of those things, but it's the fact that you're going and asking for help. I am so proud, and I don't mean that to sound patronising in any way at all. I am so proud of anyone that is brave, and I mean brave enough to ask for help, and then brave enough to sit in these waiting lists for ages and ages and ages and not give up. It's a massive thing. Like, it's a huge thing, and I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, know how big of a thing that is. I know that on some days you lie in bed thinking, oh, I nearly swore there, but I didn't. What is the point? Like, what is going to happen if I don't continue any further? Who's going to really know? Someone might be upset for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, blah, blah, blah. And all of these things, they still go around my head. When I can't get answers to things that are going on at the minute, I'm thinking, can I really stand all of this? Like, I've set this up, my kids are happy and everything like this. Do I really need to be here anymore? And I genuinely still have these thoughts, and so that makes me the biggest hypocrite when I'm telling you. But then again, it doesn't, because I'm still here, and I'm still trying, and I'm still gobbing on. Sorry, I have to go. I wish I could stay on this and keep going. I've meant to come and run and rant many times, but I'm not a runner. Keep doing what you're doing. The world needs more people like you. Ah, thanks, Danny. And you don't need to be a runner. Trust me, you do not need to be a runner. Please come on a run and rant. It would be great. Yvonne, I know I need to get out with you on walks, which I need to do, but I'm feeling sometimes under pressure from my support worker. It'll be interesting to have a chat with you, Yvonne, although I know other people. I know that you must be talking to other people and stuff. I think sometimes we do put pressure. I think I'm very conscious that sometimes these lives might seem like they're putting pressure on people as well, to say, like, look, you must do this and you should do this, and if you don't do this. I don't think that anyone who's trying to encourage anyone to get help or to access other services and everything like that ever means to be pressurised in people, what I would say is, if you can, if it's not your support worker that you can talk to, if there's someone else, just kind of verbalise these feelings. And I know it always sounds cringy and whatever, but genuinely saying them out loud, even if you don't say them yourself, say you write them down, or I don't know, make a vlog that no one sees, or however you want to get them out of your head. What happens is when we keep them in here, they manifest into something really big, because the only person competing to find out anything is ourselves. So it's an internal argument all of the time. So this problem becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and no one else is there to kind of put a logical spin. So, you know what, I suppose, for lack of a better analogy that's come to the top of my head, like if you're doing some, like for me was maths homework. If I didn't ask for help, I'd sit there and I'd try and I'd fathom it. I'd give myself absolute brain ache, trying to work this thing out and put myself in a hole and get really stressed. Whereas if I just kind of asked someone to talk it through with me, it didn't seem as hard. I might not necessarily still understand it fully, but it didn't seem as hard. And I think that's kind of the thing I always try to encourage when I say talk. We don't necessarily need to go to the ins and outs of what we're feeling and the bad stuff that's going on. It just needs to be a little bit of what's going on to kind of minimise the effect in your head. We're a complex species, and it's an absolute nightmare, but I hope that makes sense. Oh, I'm babbling loads today, aren't I? Right, so yes, this is why 4 years on, and this is what happens. This is excited. I get like I'm high on painkillers at the minute, but I'm doing well. So 4 years. I want to say thank you. Now I've been rehearsing this next bit because it's a particular way. So first of all, I said thank you to the volunteers and Lee and everyone. Couldn't do it. All of yous. The absolute number one thank you. So I say thank you a million times. That's important. But we also, as much as I always hate talking about money, money makes the world go around in a sense, and money makes sure that our organisation can grow and help more people and hopefully expand and things like this, etc. So I want to say thank you to the National Lottery Community Fund, and also for, here we go, Tees and Esk Valley NHS. I've got that wrong and I've been rehearsing it, but please, so I'm really sorry, because nothing makes sense to me at the minute. But yes, thank you to all the organisations and funding pots that have believed in what Red Balloons are doing, and have helped us to extend our services and grow and improve. Thank you to everyone over the last few years who has done any form of fundraising. I will be doing a lot more posts and stuff about fundraising. Tees, Esquire and Valley. Thank you, Aya. Thank you. And thank you for that. Thank you. I knew she would. I've practiced hard all afternoon and I still got it wrong. But thank you. But thank you for everyone that has donated and who's fundraised, who's put any kind of anything into Red Balloons, like who's bought the merchandise. We do have merchandise you can do that. We truly mean it when we say every penny counts, and it all goes into Red Balloons. It doesn't go out anywhere else. It goes into Red Balloons. And that's important, and that's always been one of my core values. I hate talking about money, but it is a necessary evil. But I can say that no matter how big Red Balloons grows, and I'm always going to say world domination, I truly do believe, I truly do appreciate everything that's going in. So if you'd like to do some fundraising for charity this year, please get in contact with us. Please support Red Balloons. It would mean the world. There's a few things I've got coming up over the year, hopefully health permitting, that I can do to raise money. So I still raise money for Red Balloons and will continue to do so forever and ever and always. But what we really want is volunteers. And I say this every time. Hang on one second, Gary. All I do is work, come home and shut the world out. And I know I shouldn't, but I can't talk about what I'm feeling. I'm even sick of hearing it myself. Wish I could fix it. Please keep up the good work. I remember when all this was a pipe dream. Keep up the good work. I know, Gary, you were one of the first people. Forget how long we've known each other now. I will always keep up the good work. But please, when you say wish you could fix it, that kind of implies that you're broken. And I just want to say that none of us, no matter how we might feel in our heads, are broken. We're just going through... Oh, I really need to swear when I feel passionate, but I won't. we're just going through bad times. And like I said to you just before, yes, we do our own heads in and we think that we're doing everyone else's heads in, but we're not. We probably are doing our own heads in, but we're not doing anyone else's heads in, and I promise that. If we could just snap out of it, this wouldn't exist. Let's be honest. I am where can we get merchandise from? So Owen, if you send a message to the page after this, I think it did used to be on the website. So I will have to recheck that because I haven't looked. I didn't expect anyone to ask that actually. But we can get merchandise, so we do like hoodies, t-shirts, vests, stuff like that. So I class it as all free marketing, advertising campaign for us. But it's also really good. Like I absolutely love the hoodies and everything like that. So please do, if you want to order anything, get in contact. So yes, thank you to everyone. Thank you. 4 years, like 4 years. I'd said in the post this morning, since February 2020, so that isn't 4 years, that's only 2 years. In the last 2 years, we've helped just under 2,500 attendees. Face-to-face, that's not including messages or social media or anything like that. Face-to-face attendees. And that is just... I've said it before, it's bittersweet because it's amazing that we've helped that many people, and amazing that many people have used red balloons and found hopefully the help that they needed and stuff. But at the same time, we're very aware that it means that people 9 times out of 10 are struggling, which is why they're accessing the sport. So it is bittersweet, but it just reminds us that what we're doing is needed, and we get contacted from people all over the country, let's be honest. And don't forget, we've got Jason in Guernsey, we've got Phil in Halifax, and we are very, very slowly growing. But this is where the fundraising and the donations and the awareness and the volunteers, please volunteer. That's where yous all come in, like even more crucially, because that's how we spread. And the amount of people that we get, genuinely, where we get messages going, we wish there was something like red balloons in our area. We wish there was something like this in our area. We wish there was walk and talks in our area. Genuinely, we get a lot. And all I can say is we're working on it, genuinely working on it. And we will get there. So if you're happen to be a millionaire watching this, please invest. If you want a challenge for 2022 and would like to fundraise, please consider Red Balloons as your chosen charity. If you are struggling a little bit and would like to access one of our groups, please get in touch. They're so inclusive, and like I said, if it is something, like if you know me personally, it's been something that's like, oh, I don't really know, I'm not offended at all. Please just know that I'm not around all of the time, and there's so many other volunteers that will be there and will be able to help you. And not just the volunteers, but the members of the group themselves as well. They are just as important and support each other. It is peer support, exactly like I've always wanted it to be. It's people helping people, whether it's me, Lee, volunteers. Do you know what I mean? It's just this is what we are, peer support, and this is what we will always be. Always be peer support, people, purely people helping people. Thank you very much, Yvonne. It really means a lot. Emma, we'll have to get the Just Williams girls. Yes, you will have to get the Just Williams girls and some merch. Gary, I'd love to volunteer, and I hope I can one day, but I need to get myself right first. I completely appreciate that, Gary, and I'm looking forward to the day that you're one of the team, because I will get you. Kylie, I'm really looking forward to volunteering. So amazing what you all do. Oh, Kylie, I'm so excited to have you as part of the team. That's really... Thank you very much. I say thank you, right? And I hope it doesn't lose its meaning because I say it so much. It's getting dark now. This is how long I talk for. But genuinely, 4 years. There's so much I could talk about, but I think I've probably battered your heads in enough. There's so much I could talk about, but to think this has all came, like I said, from a point in my life where I didn't want to be here anymore and I thought the world would be a better place without me. That's genuine. That is where this came from. I genuinely believed that I couldn't deal with anything else. I couldn't deal with any more crap. I couldn't deal with any more pain and heartache and everything else. I couldn't keep putting all of my crap onto my kids and my family and my friends. So the only way I could see out of it was not to be here anymore. And the only way I could see to do that was to make it look like an accident and to just disappear basically. And I said, like I said to you earlier on this, I honestly believe that they might be upset for a week or something, or in a couple of years time they might go, oh yeah, Claire, I miss her. But I genuinely believed that they'd be in a better place without me, and now I genuinely know that I'm lucky to be alive. And that sounds so cliche, and for anyone that's watching this that is struggling, you're probably going, oh, shut up. Genuinely, I am extremely lucky to be alive and extremely lucky to be part of this organisation. To be able to sit here and talk randomly to you lot. Like I said, I'm not going to say that there isn't days, especially at the minute when I'm going through certain things where I think, I don't know if I can physically cope with much more. And this is where the hypocrisy comes in. Sometimes I do genuinely think, going, can I really do this? But you know what? Yeah, I can. And it isn't going to be easy, because nothing in life ever is easy. But as long as I have you lot, and as long as I know you lot have me, then the world is a slightly better place. And I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, mean that. This is absolutely what I have needed today. Thank you, after struggling week I've had. I'm glad it's helped everyone, I really am. And you know where we are. I'm so proud. I remember talking to you about it and I told you to do it. I believed in you, but I can honestly say you have done amazing. Oh, thanks, Gary. Ever since that little coffee in Costa. I remember. No, it's like I said, it's friends and family, and they mean yous mean the most to me. But do you know what probably hit me a couple of years back? It was the faith that absolute strangers had in me that showed me that this was something that I was destined to do. The fact that I won't give up. I can take criticism, I can take negativity. I must say, hand on heart, I'm very lucky. I don't get much of it, but there is certain things that you get, and I put myself out there and I say things, and I've got to be prepared to either defend it or perhaps change my way of thinking. And I'll always be like that. I've always said that I appreciate opinions and things like that. So I'm happy to talk about. There's nothing. I always say, people say, like, when people apologise, oh, I'm sorry, Claire, but can I just ask you? Please don't ever apologise. And if there's ever anything that you want to ask me. I will answer anything, because I know how important it is, and I know that there's many people out there that aren't necessarily in a place where they can talk about things. I'm not saying that it's easy and that it doesn't upset me, but I do know how important it is. So if I can help anybody just by talking about something, then ask me. Right, I haven't got a watch on and I'm absolutely no idea how long I've been talking for, but as the numbers seem to be dwindling down now, probably too long. But thank you all. Thank you again. No, seriously, thank you. And happy birthday to Red Balloons. And I just can't wait to see where the next 4, 8, 12, 16, I'm going to stop there because I'm not very good at numbers, years take us. And if you're sat there thinking, goodness, I wish Red Balloons was in our area, all I can say is hold tight. We will be at some point, eventually. But do have a look and see what is out there, because there is so much support out there that isn't shouted about, that needs to be shouted about. There's so many people out there that want to help others and do similar things. So have a look. And if all else, you know we're here, 7 in the morning till 7 at night. We've got all of our posts, all of my videos and everything, and my blogs and everything are all on the website. And the applications for volunteering, get in touch. No, seriously, thank you very much. Massively appreciated. And I shall see you next time I decide to grace my telephone screen. Take care, everyone. Bye.